Hello, Rob here with Stretch Therapy Vancouver. Let's take a stretch break. Let's just do a little warm up and focus on some problematic areas. Today, we're going to be thinking about our hamstrings. We're going to be thinking about our hip flexors. We're going to a nice rotational back stretch, and that's going to set up a stretch for the front of the shoulders. These are all going to be solo stretches, so you do not need a partner. Now, the main principle used in stretch therapy and PNF stretching is the contract, relax technique of PNF stretching. What we do is we go into a stretch, we contract the target muscle for about 5 or 6 seconds. We maintain a circular breathing the entire time. After contraction, we try to relax the muscle in that linked position. It's very important that we stay in that position. We don't come out of that position. And as we exhale again, you can adjust deeper into that position. Generally, after contraction, about a 10-second window, those muscles will resist. That's just a little bit less, and you can adjust deeper into that position. Now, if you're new to stretch therapy and PNF stretching, and the contractions don't really make sense at this time, that's okay. Just skip the contractions and practice a hold relax technique, just like you would with other systems. So let's get warmed up. The best time to stretch is when the muscles are warm. So after a workout or run is optimal. But we'll just do a little limbering sequence on the mat here, and then we'll go into those stretches. So let's lay flat on our back on the mat. I'm just going to melt down to the floor and start with that oh so important circular breathing. Let's breathe in through the nose, expand the lungs, and exhale through the mouth. Breathing in, breathing out. We want to maintain the circular breathing throughout today's practice. The muscles only lengthen as we exhale, so we don't want to hold our breath. Today, if any positions are too intense, you can adjust out of the position. We're not concerned about a pose. We're trying to find what you need right now in this moment. If something's easy, you can adjust it to make it more challenging. If something's too challenging, you can adjust to make it a little bit easier so we can maintain this circular breathing. Let's rotate our head side to side in a controlled manner just to reset our neck and spine. And we have three main areas of proprioception in our body. We have our neck, our hips, and our feet. If one of those areas are out of whack, our body has to compensate to maintain our line of gravity. Most of dysfunction and pain that we feel throughout the body originates from the hips. I'll make another video to discuss that in more detail. 2 more head rotations, a 1 and a 2. Good. Let's relax our head to neutral. Let's bend our knees. Let's bring our heels to the floor. Very important to keep our heels to the floor. I'm going to rotate our knees to one side. Exhale. Bring it up to the other side. We're keeping our heels to the floor to relax the low back. We want to reset our back and hips. If our feet are off the ground, our low back's going to tense up to try to stabilize. So if you're doing any back stretches, you always want to make sure our feet are supported. If you're practicing just these rotations, you want to do at least 10 rotations, but you're always welcome to do more, 20 or 30 if you wish. 2 more rotations. 1 and a 2. Good. Let's slide the feet forward. Let's think about our wrists, our hands. Just kind of rotate. We can do elbow circles as well. We can go big circles or little circles. Good. Let's bring our elbows into our ribs, palm up, and we're rotating our hands outward. We should feel our shoulder blades move together as the hands come out. Good. Awesome. Let's bring the hands down. We're going to a hip bridge to help strengthen our glutes. Now, we don't want our low back to arch in this position. So let's think about bracing the spine in a neutral position. We're going to push the heels out. Let's bring the hips up. We're going to exhale and bring that down. So we're just going up and down, not letting the low back take over an arch. We'll do a little release after these hip bridges, just in case that does happen. Good. Let's do 1 more hip bridge. Good, let's bring it down just to make sure that low back didn't take over. Let's neutralize the electrostimulus to the low back. It's called the flexor relaxation response. So what we're doing is we're going to bring our knees into our ribs, pulling that in, stretching the low back. Yep, let's bring that down. Let's find neutral hip position, not all the way forward, not all the way back, but right in the middle. Okay, good. Now they're a little warmed up. Let's start off with our stretches. We're going to go into our favorite, or at least my favorite solo hamstring stretch. We'll need something soft to kneel on, a block, a pillow, something soft to kneel on, and we need some wall space. So to set this up, we're going to go shoulder over the hip, over the knee. Other foot forward, front leg straight. Just like we would when we're standing. So these muscles here are quadriceps, they're shortened. That means these muscles are lengthened. We're trying to get our heels close to the wall as we can, and to relax the low back, so you might feel some pulling to the opposite side, we're going to hold on to the wall. Now, if the hamstring's super tight, it's going to force the knee to bend. That's okay. Slide your foot along the outside to make it less intense. If this is easy breezy, slide your foot in. Remember, we want our hips parallel to the wall, so don't let the hips rotate in the opposite direction. So find a position you feel comfortable with. And from here, we can walk the hands to the side of the stretch and walk the hands down. If it gets too intense, we can walk the hands right back up. Now, right now, I'm practicing the hold relax technique. So without the contraction, practicing the hold relax technique. This technique can be done regularly throughout the day, many times during the day if you want. We're used to that. Our contract relax technique is only recommended once or twice a week because we need time to rest, recover, and more importantly, adapt. Now, if you just want to hold this position and practice that hold relax technique, you can. If you want to practice the contractions, our contraction, you're going to very lightly push the heel down, push the leg down to the floor. After contraction, you're going to breathe out. You can walk the hands down. So if you want to join me, you're welcome to. Let's push that front heel down as we breathe from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more pressing down. We're breathing out. As we breathe out, we're getting used to this length position. As we breathe out again, we can walk the hands down if you want. Good. Now, next contraction is for the calf, the gastrocnemius. It's responsible for plantar flexion. So we're going to think about pushing the toes forward to the wall like you're doing a calf raise, but don't let the heel move away. So let's lightly press the toes forward on that front foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more pressing forward, breathing out. As we breathe out, let's use the opposite muscle, the shin muscle, to pull the toes in, and now we can push the heel closer. And if you want, we can walk the hands down if you like. Good. Now we're going to loosen up these hip rotators on the outside of the hip. So what we're going to do is we're going to push the heel down and then rotate your knee to the outside. So see how I'm rotating my leg bone? Hopefully you can see that. But do not let the foot fan to the outside. So keep that big toe against the wall. The arch of the foot will increase. So my left leg is forward. So I'm going to push my heel down and rotate my knee to the left. If the right foot is forward, you push the heel down, rotate your knee to the right. I'm going to say push the heel down, rotate your knee to the outside. So let's practice that together. Let's push the heel down, lightly rotate the knee to the outside as we breathe from 5, 4, always breathing, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale, relax, neutral. As we breathe out, we can walk the hands down. Good, let's practice that one more time. Let's push the heel down. Let's rotate the knee to the outside. Let's breathe from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale. Relax the neutral. Our first goal is to relax our hands to our big toe. Never think about the ankle. Never think about the heel on the inside of that foot. Whatever works for you. Good. When we're all done, we can push ourselves back and let's get up. Let's stand on up. We want to walk around on a hard surface. So walk around on this flooring is perfect. I'm probably out of the shot right now. Okay, so I won't walk around too much. Let's see how amazing the other side feels. You know, if you're watching this video anytime, you can pause it, you can walk around, you can take a break, you can come back to it. Or if you miss something I say, you can pause it, rewind, and check that out again. Okay, so see how amazing the other side feels. So again, shoulder over the hip, over the knee. Knee to something that's soft and cozy. Right foot forward, right knee in extension. holding onto something for balance. If the hamstring's forcing the knee to bend, slide your foot along the wall to the outside. Want to make this more challenging, or as you progress, bring the foot in. Find a position you feel comfortable with. Or walking the hands down. You can also just walk the hands to the side of the stretch. Then we're relaxing our hands to our big toe, then the ankle, and then on the inside. You can also hold on to that front knee for balance. Or if you're at home, you have some furniture nearby, you can hold on to that as well. That's going to help relax the low back. Very, very important. Otherwise, we're going to get pulled to the side. Our first contraction is to help inhibit the muscles behind the leg. So you're just going to push that front leg down to isometrically contract those muscles. So go ahead, let's push that front leg down, front heel down, very lightly as we breathe. I'll count you down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more pressing down. We're breathing out. As we exhale, we can walk the hands down. Now you might notice maybe one side's tighter than the other. That's okay. You can go tight side, other side, and you can come back to that tight side. Again, you can pause this, rewind this, go back to the tight side, or at least start with your tight side. I tend to count slower the first time than I do the second time. Okay, let's think about the calf. The calf pushes the foot forward into plantar flexion. Our foot's supported by the wall. So let's lightly press the toes forward as we breathe. I'll count you down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more pressing forward. Let's relax the calf if we can. And let's use the opposite muscle, the shin, the tibialis anterior, to pull the toes in. Now we can push the heel closer to the wall. We can walk the hands down, only if it's available. Only if it's available. If it's not available, just enjoy that position. In fact, you can always walk the hands up a little bit higher if you wish. Okay, now we're going to stretch out the outside of the hip. I'm demonstrating with the right, so that means I'm going to push the heel down. I'm going to rotate my knee to the right. The contraction will go down and to the outside. So remember, do not let that foot fan to the outside. Keep that big toe against the wall. So let's push the heel down. Let's rotate our knee to the outside. Let's breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's relax neutral. Let's breathe out. As we breathe out, we can melt down deeper and deeper into that stretch. Great, backs out one more time. Push the heel down and rotate the knee to the outside. And most importantly, we're breathing from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale, relax, neutral, breathe out. If you haven't touched that big toe already, give that big toe a touch. The touching the big toe is easy. Give the heel a touch. And we're all done. Yes, let's sit up nice and tall. Let's stand on up. Let's walk around. Let's take a couple steps. Let's see how that feels. Good. Are we able to touch our toes? Hopefully. I can help. I can help. Okay, now let's think about our tightest muscle, the hip flexor. So this is flexion of the hip. So every time we sit, our hip flexor is short. And every time we run, we play, we squat, our hip flexor is short. So now we're going to stretch that out. So again, we'll need that nice, soft, cozy block to place our knee. We're stretching this side. So we'll go opposite foot forward. We want the front knee over the heel, give or take. So we're going to relax for now. The top of the back foot to the floor. We're going to bring our hands towards, walk the hips forward. Now I'm in the extension, which is the opposite of flexion. With our hands on the inside of the front knee, we can now adjust that front foot. We don't want the heel off the ground. So our heel should be next to our hand. Now, if this is too easy, we can walk the hands up the knee. We can hold on to that front knee. We can reach that up and drop that down as well, even if that's too easy. So find a position that works for you. Now, we don't want to let this hip drop to the outside. If anything, we want to think about shifting our hips over towards that front knee. That'll make this stretch more effective, and it'll isolate the psoas a little bit more. Now, our first contraction, we're thinking about pushing the back knee forward like this, but do not let the back knee move forward. After contraction, you definitely slide that back leg back and pull the hips forward and down. So let's practice that together. Let's lightly push that back knee forward, but don't let it move forward, or just enjoy that position without the contractions. It's your choice. You're the boss. From 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale. Breathe out. So we breathe out. We can slide that back leg back. We can pull the hips forward and lean towards that front knee side. Good. Let's target that quadricep muscle that crosses the hip, the rectus femoris. Target that muscle. Let's take our back foot, bottom of the toes to the floor to the mat. The contraction, we're going to push the back heel back, but don't let the knee come off the ground or the hips up. Keep the hips down. So go ahead, let's push that back heel back to the wall as we breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more pushing back. Let's relax the top of the back foot to the floor. Let's pull the hips forward and down. Great. Let's practice one more contraction. It's going to be a double contraction. So again, we're going to push the back knee forward, but don't let it move forward. And now we're going to pull the front heel in by bending the knee, but don't let the front heel move in. What that's going to do is actually pull the hips forward deeper into the stretch while we target that psoas one more time. So go ahead if you want to join me. Let's push that back knee forward, but don't let it move forward. Let's pull that front heel in, but don't let it move in. Do breathe. From 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale. Let's relax that front leg. Let's relax the back leg. Let's breathe. Let's allow the midpoint, the hips to sink forward and down. Good. When we're all done, we can push ourselves back with our hands. We can push ourselves back with that front foot. From there, we can get on up. We can stand it up and see how we feel. It always feels better when we're done. And this is a very important part of the process. After we do our contractions, we stand up, we walk around. This reprograms our central nervous system to hopefully accept that new stretch point that you established. Because we are retraining our central nervous system, that's why the system is only recommended a couple times a week, so we have time to rest, recover, and adapt. That's the important part, adapt. All right, let's see how amazing the other side feels. Other knee down to the block. We're going to walk the hands forward. We're going to sink the hips forward. Now with our hands on the inside of the knee, now we can easily adjust this front knee position. Front knee over the heel, give or take. We're going to pulse pull the hips forward down. But remember, do not let the hips sink to the outside. If anything, lean towards that front knee side. We're going to target these muscles here on the front of the hip by pushing that back leg forward at the hip, but don't let it move forward. Do breathe. Or if the contractions aren't connecting with you right now, just enjoy that position from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more pushing forward. We can definitely slide that back leg back. We can pull the hips forward and down. Or if you want to make it more challenging, you can walk the hands up the knee. If you walk the hands up the knee, just do not push yourself back, though. Keep those hips forward and down. Okay, let's target that quadricep muscle that crosses the hip. Let's adjust the back foot so the bottom of the toes are to the floor. With the bottom of the toes to the floor, let's push that back heel back. Enjoy the pull in the upper thigh as we breathe. I'll count you down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more pushing back. Let's relax the top of the back foot to the floor. Let's breathe out. Let's sink the hips forward and down. Great. Let's finish off with that double contraction. Again, we're pulling that front heel in, but don't let it move in. Let's push that back knee forward, but don't let it move forward. Do breathe from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale. Let's relax that front leg. Let's relax the back leg. Let's allow the midpoint, the hips to sink forward and down. Good job. Great. When we're all done, we can push ourselves back with the hands. You can push yourself back with that front foot. How did we get there? Let's rise on up. Let's stand on up. Let's see how that feels. We're going to walk around. Okay, good. When we're ready, we're going to come on down to the mat. We're going to do a nice rotational back stretch. That's going to set up our shoulder stretch as well. Now, before when we're doing our rotations, I mentioned we want to keep our feet to the floor. And same thing with this stretch. So we're going to lay flat on your back, on the mat, on the floor. Maybe you're in bed doing this. You can do it in bed as well. We're going to bring one knee up. We're going to rotate over. We're keeping our shoulders to the floor, so we're not just rolling onto our side. We're enjoying the stretch to our midsection and hip. Now, maybe if you roll to the side, this top leg is in limbo. That's okay. You can place some pillows to support that foot, and we can draw that knee down. My other hand is palm up on the floor, anchoring the shoulders. That way the stretch is happening to the midsection. Now, if you just want to hold this position for 1 to 3 minutes, you're welcome to. If you want to practice the contractions, we're using these muscles that are in midsection to roll the hips back. But you're going to hold onto the knee so the hips do not move back. After contraction, you're going to breathe out hard and draw this knee down closer to the floor to increase the stretch to our midsection. So if you want to practice that with me, you're welcome to practice contraction. Tummy tight, let's lightly roll the hips back, but hold on to that top knee as we breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale, breathe out. As we breathe out, let's turn the hips forward, drawing that knee closer to the floor. We'll squeeze the shoulder blades together to keep the shoulders to the floor. Let's support in that position. Let's practice that again. Tummy tight, lightly rotating back, but don't roll back. To breathe from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale, breathe out. As we breathe out, we can draw this knee closer to the floor. Good. One more time. Lightly rolling the hips back, but don't let it escape. To breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale. Breathe out. As you breathe out, let that tension go from the midsection. As you breathe out, draw the knee to the floor. Good. This is my favorite part, is coming out of the stretch. And I feel that with all rotational stretches, other back, shoulders, it's when we roll back. Oh, there we go. That's where we feel that stretch. We can rotate side to side. And now I'm noticing how amazing that one side feels. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So laying flat on our back, either in bed or on the floor. Other knee goes up. We're going to rotate over. Remember, keep your shoulder blades to the floor. Other hand, palm up if you can. The side we roll onto, we can take the hand. We can support that leg that's in stretch. And we might feel it in the midsection. We might feel it in the hip. And that may be different from side to side. That's okay. And just like previously, if one side is tighter than the other, I recommend stretching with the tight side. Go to the other side. You can always come back to that tight side. If you want to just enjoy this position without the contractions, you can. If you want to do the contractions, you're welcome to join me. Engaging these muscles here to roll the hips back to the mat and hold on to that top knee so the hips don't escape. Do breathe. From 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more rolling back. We're breathing out. As we breathe out, we can roll the hips forward. We can draw that knee closer to the floor. Good. Support in that position. Let's practice that again. Lightly rolling the hips back, but don't let them go back. Do breathe. From 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale. Breathe. As we breathe out, we can draw this knee closer to the floor. Great. Practice that one more time. Lightly shifting the hips back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale. Drawing the knee to the floor. Good job. Awesome. Let's release that leg. We can roll the hips back to the floor. We're going to keep our feet to the floor and just rotate side to side. Awesome. That's going to set up our next stretch, our rotational shoulder stretch. Now, we're going to keep it simple today because I noticed when I introduce this stretch into classes, some people make some mistakes. And usually the main mistake is this one arm that's in stretch is too high. Actually, behind the wall here, it's perfect because it doesn't allow my hand to go up too high. Now, if you have any shoulder issues, shoulder imbalances, shoulder injuries, we probably have to bring our hand below shoulder height. Ideally, you want to be our hand about shoulder height or slightly above shoulder height. So we can kind of pick one of these three positions depending on your needs. From any of those positions, we want our front of the shoulder touching the mat. So that way when we roll back into the stretch, we don't roll out of the stretch. We're going to think about our push-up muscles. For contractions, pushing the hand down. After contraction, relax the hand and squeeze the shoulder blades together to increase the stretch. So find one of those hand positions that agrees with your shoulder. Rotate the shoulder in. We're going to shift the hips and we're going to roll back to increase the stretch. Now, just like our back stretch, we want to make sure both feet are touching the floor. So if this top foot's in limbo, you just place a pillow under that top foot to support and relax the back. We can use the opposite hand to push yourself back in that position, or eventually you can squeeze the shoulder blades together to roll yourself back into that position. You can relax your head to neutral because of the AirPods and microphones I have on. They'll drop out of my ear if I drop my head, so find a neck position that works for you. Let's think about that one arm that's in the stretch. Let's push that hand down, target our push-up muscles as we breathe. Nice and light though. From 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more pushing down. We're breathing in. As we breathe out, we can roll back deeper into that position if it's available. Let's practice that again, pushing the hand down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale, breathe out. So we can breathe out, we can roll back deeper and deeper into that position. Good, let's practice that one more time, pushing the hand down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more tension. Breathe out. As we breathe out, we can roll back into that stretch. Good. When we're all done, we can roll all the way back to our tummy. We can shake out the hips. We can shake out the hands. Let's practice that same technique on the other side. Other hand out to the side, half the letter T. If you have any shoulder issues, we can bring it below shoulder height. Or if you have nice, happy, healthy shoulders, about a hand's width above shoulder height. Remain in those hand positions. We can rotate the shoulder forward. We're going to shift our hips. I'm going to roll back into that position. We can push with the opposite hand or eventually squeeze the shoulders to roll back deeper into that position. You can practice the contractions a couple times a week, or you can just practice this position without the contractions regularly if you want. Okay, let's target our push-up muscles by pushing that hand down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No more pressing down. We're breathing out. As we breathe out, we can roll back into that position. If it's not available, don't force it. It already means you're in a big stretch. Let's practice that again. Let's push the hand down from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale. Relax the hand. Breathe out. Roll back deeper if it's available. Good. Let's practice that one more time. Let's push this hand down as we breathe from 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale. Breathe out. As we breathe out, wiggle the fingers. As we breathe out, squeeze the shoulder blades to roll back to increase the stretch to the front of the shoulder. When we're all done, we can roll all the way back to our tummy. We can shake out the hips. We can shake out the hands. Good. Let's lay flat on our back on the mat. Now, when I first started with that shoulder stretch, because the muscles were so tight, it was restricting blood flow to the distal end, so I get pins and needles in my hands. Once you come out of the stretch, you wiggle the fingers and that discomfort goes away. And once you relax these tight muscles, release these tight muscles, these stretches, it goes away. It doesn't happen again. Okay, let's reset our hips, our back. Let's bend our knees, heels to the floor. Let's rotate our knees side to side. Awesome job, everyone. Thank you so much for taking this little stretch break with me. Full group stretch therapy classes are available about 6 months a year throughout Vancouver. 2 more rotations. 1 and 2. Let's slide the feet forward. Let's reset our neck. We're going to rotate our head side to side. One-on-one stretch therapy sessions are available in Vancouver, right in this treatment room, and also available in South Surrey twice a week as well. For those who live outside of Vancouver and enjoy free parking, we can arrange a session out there as well. 2 more head rotations, 1 and 2. Let's meet back in the middle. Let's finish off with that circular breathing. Breathing in through the nose, expanding the lungs. Big exhale through the mouth. You did it. Give yourselves a round of applause. Awesome job. Have an amazing day. Let me know if you have any questions.